Yeah, check 1 2, check 1 2. Is this mic on? Is this mic on? Hey, listen, man. It's the one and only trendsetter DJ Sense, and you're listening to CockTales. Dirty discussions with Kiki and Medina Monroe. Yeah.
Okay, so this week's cocktail is a Pearl Harbor. What you need is 2 ounces of vodka, 1 ounce of melon liqueur, 4 ounces of pineapple juice, or enough to top off the glass, a garnish for a maraschino cherry for the garnish, a pineapple chunk, and a lemon wedge. So how to make it? You're going to pour the vodka and melon liqueur into an old-fashioned glass filled with ice, fill with the pineapple juice, garnish with the maraschino cherry and the pineapple chunk, and enjoy.
Now that one sounds good.
Well, that sounds like vacation. Like you just want to just...
I want a vacation.
Me too. We deserve one. We need to make new cocktails.
Both of y'all got boyfriends, so...
I don't have a boyfriend. I say that every week.
Kiki's
I don't know
single.
how much louder I can get about that.
What you doing wrong?
Why I gotta be doing something wrong? Did you not just hear us talking on last week's episode about why it's so hard in Atlanta?
You said a man is not a necessity, a man is a luxury.
Like dessert. Yeah. Man is absolutely not necessity.
Did you mean that to sound mean and bitter?
Oh, not at all. I adore dessert. I love men. I think men are the coolest. But you don't really need them to live.
This week, we're running a little short on time, so I'm just going to give you a few weird sex facts about food. I'm sure you've heard of aphrodisiacs if you listen to the show. There are tons of foods that can boost your sex drive, and one of those is black raspberries, y'all. They enhance your libido and endurance. Then there's oysters, and we've heard about oysters, but what do they really do? They're actually pretty high in zinc, which is really important for testosterone and endurance. Do you see a theme here? And lastly, watermelon contains an amino acid that is great for the cardiovascular system and helps to increase your overall sex drive. Who knew? Now you know what you need to pick up next time you're at the store. And now let's get back to the show.
Are we going to play a game first or no? We're just going to jump right into it?
We can just jump right in.
With that little statement, J-Rock, we're talking about
Stereotypes.
And we're talking about stereotypes that have to do with black women and men. Or it could be men and women, whatever. I'm just saying black men and women because we're black. And I feel like black people have specific stereotypes, and sometimes they're fitting, and sometimes they're just like, what? I'm not like that. What do you think?
I mean, I think that happens all the time. That's what a stereotype is. It's something that's generalizing people. It frustrates me to talk about stereotypes, honestly. We talk about this sometimes, and you're always like, I like how you have this idea of black people, and you kind of alluded to, I think that people do things, and it's just not as common as I like to think it is. So I'm glad we have somebody else here with us to kind of talk about some of the things. The stuff I was talking to Medina about before, it wasn't really about dating and stuff, but just like we were just talking, you asked me if I'm single, what am I doing wrong? And it's like, why does everybody always think the woman is in the wrong because she's single? Why is that the first thing that you thought to say?
This is how men feel. If you're an attractive woman, and I think I speak on behalf of the average man, a beautiful woman who's single over the age of, let's be generous and say 28. We feel like,
why is that generous?
Something's wrong. No, being generous because I really want to say about 26, but I'm going to say 28.
Okay.
Men generally feel like something's wrong somewhere. Okay, that could be a range of things. The pussy's
like
not
what?
good.
Oh.
Okay, you aren't seen as potential to be a good mother. Could be that you don't have your priorities in order. Might not have. Might still be too much into the nightlife. But yeah, that's just Atlanta. When you meet Atlanta women, that's what they're not about.
So that's a typical Atlanta stereotype. It's in the club too much.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Not wifeable.
Not wifeable.
Not a mother.
Like, I'm gonna tell you what a man thinks when they first meet a woman.
Tell us.
This is the first thing they think. They see physical beauty. Okay, so bam, you're in there. All right. And then they look at personality once they meet you, what your conversation is like. And the ultimate thing is, can I take you home to meet my sister, my mom, my aunt? Like, what are they going to say about you? Are you going to be able to have a conversation with them when I get ready to go downstairs with my brother-in-law
and
or my grandfather to watch the game? am I going to be able to leave you upstairs with my mom and my sister and, you know, my little sister, my big sister, to have a conversation? And if the answer to that question is nah, then most men, they kind of like, you know, I might smash or, you know, take you out for a drink. But other than that, that's all it's going to be. Yeah. I'm gonna give y'all the truth.
I'm
open to it. I'm listening.
I'm glad that you're telling us the truth, and I do want our listeners to know, like, don't be offended. There are stereotypes for a reason. Some of them aren't true, and some of them might be a little bit fitting, but don't get offended by anything. This is just real talk.
Yeah, it's just real talk. I wouldn't lie to you. I mean, like, I got no reason to.
Well, I'll say to that single thing, sometimes, you know, you can get all those checks, right? But you just might not meet somebody that you like. Because you can be a good match for a man, but that man may not meet all the check marks that I want. And then if you're not going out and you're like very focused on your work or whatever projects you have going on or whatever else, you may not be in a position that you're really meeting people. You might not be in that mind frame. And I think that's what's been happening with me more so lately. Like, I've been trying to get out and do stuff, but I don't want to be in the club all the time. I don't want to meet those guys. I've met those guys, and I just told y'all last week I was acting crazy. Like, I don't want to do that.
Yeah,
and it's hard to meet people.
Something else you got to remember about Atlanta, like, if you're not in college, meeting people,
it's so
once
hard.
the college age is over, it's hard to meet people because Atlanta is based on the club scene. So, you know, if you work at the AT&T building or if you work at Delta or something, you might run across somebody in passing. But most people who are meeting people in Atlanta under the age of 35 is in the club. So it's like, you got to hope that you find a diamond in the rough. The girl who's in the section sitting down in the corner, maybe she's the one, you know what I'm saying? But I mean, that's just the harsh reality of it. I mean, the average social scene in Atlanta is the club. So
I want to tackle some stereotypes that I have personally heard. I had this conversation a couple days ago with my brother, with my boyfriend, with just random men. And this was a stereotype that came up that I want to know if you think it's true. And J-Rock, if you think it's true, because you are a black man. A lot of black men nowadays do not like black women. And I'm not saying that for a fact. I'm saying that what I see in the world and the conversation that I had a couple days ago with a black man and a non-black man. And they're just like, right now, it seems like black women don't seem to be at the top of a black man's list. You want somebody that looks like Kim K or gonna give you some light-skinned babies.
I mean, like, every man go through that struggle at some point where they want a Puerto Rican or a Dominican chick.
But why?
Or Kim Kardashian chick. I mean, it's the same reason that every woman goes through, I want a nigga with a big dick, or, you know, but they'll end up settling for some of that mediocre.
A big dick and being some girl who looks like she's from the other side of the world is different.
Well, I mean, nah, it's really not. Because everybody wants the best of the best.
Because it boils down to a race thing. That's why it's different. It's like one thing if you want a woman who is phically attractive, but why does that physically attractive woman have to be? Yeah,
because I sometimes just be like, "What your mama look like? Like, you looking at me like, was you wearing weave? Do you wrap your hair at night? Is your knees ashy? Like, what your mama's knees is ashy?"
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Me personally, I love black women. Like, I couldn't imagine taking anything else home to my mom. You know, no disrespect to my Puerto Rican chicks out there who I date. Okay, no, I'm joking. But yeah, I love black women. I couldn't date anything seriously but a black woman. But some men, when they get their money right, they want to venture out here and see. Yeah, and I mean, I'm gonna be honest. A lot of men get their money right and they forget about, you know, they sisters, they like trying to do this, that, and the other. But if you notice those, once they done played around for the longest, they always come back to a black woman. Always.
Sometimes it's the other way around.
Watch what OJ do. OJ, like, he just got out the other day. He gonna end up with
Do you really want to compare yourself to OJ?
No, not me. I'm
you
just
and the
saying,
black
like,
man.
But he's gonna end up with a sister because you see what happened with the white girl.
Okay,
Okay, wait. I want to say what I think about the black men not liking black women. That hasn't been the case for me in a lot of situations. Like, I've not met that many black men who were like, "Oh, you're cute, but I don't really do black girls." Like, that doesn't really happen to me. So, what is that face? Because she made a face. Oh,
we're different shades.
But I'm still a black woman. Like, I'm not a mixed chick.
But you're
I'm
still
black.
one of those. Like, I'm gonna keep it funky with you. Girls
funky.
of their complexion, they still be like, "You the light skinned bitch in the classroom."
I've
Like,
heard you're the cutoff, nothing darker than you, and it's like nothing darker than me.
Now, what I have heard that I don't like when I meet a guy who kind of fetishizes over exotic looking women and light skinned women, and they tell me like, "Oh, you know, I like you. You're so light skinned. We would have beautiful light babies," and it's just like, nigga, what the fuck? First of all, I'm not having your baby because you sound raggedy as fuck. Like, I'm not doing that. But I mean, I get it, but I guess that's not my experience.
Just to share an experience, when I lived in Miami, I dealt with this a lot. And I've never been someone who dealt with like shades of color or race because I just don't live my life like that.
Right.
But when I lived in Miami, a lot of my girlfriends are Spanish or Asian or whatever. You know, all the black dudes want to be around that. But those were my girlfriends. So I went out to the club one night with my homegirl, Jessica. She's Puerto Rican. She brought all her Puerto Rican friends. She's like, you want to come? I was like, yeah, girl, I'm coming. So I go to the club with her. We're in this section with these black guys, and he like orders all these bottles. He's pouring all of them drinks, and he gets to me, and he's like, he puts the bottle down. He's like, oh, you could pour your own.
Are you serious?
That was the first time I actually like it was like directed towards me, and I was like, I don't have low self-esteem. Like I was sitting there like, are you did this really just happen because I'm the only black girl? It was really like, it was eye-opening. I was so sad. I went home and I was like, I can't believe people deal with this like from our own people. Like it was really it was crazy. I was mad. I was all the way mad.
I would be mad.
I was all the way mad. But there was something that you said that made me want to, before you told your story, I was about to say something. Oh, when you said like OJ's gonna end up going to a sister. That's another stereotype, that black women are like the strong women and go always hold you down.
No matter what, you can always come back to us, no matter how much you run us over.
Because they were raised that way. Like they were most strong black women had a mother and or a father who raised them like, okay, we wasn't rich, we had to work for what we got. There were chores around the house. The age of high school, you got responsibilities, pick up your little brother, your little sister. So it's like black women were on average were trained, right.
Kiki, what do you think about that? Like, are you that black woman? Are you the black woman that is going to always...
OJ can come back to?
That anybody can come back to.
I mean, I have been somebody... He didn't leave me like for a white girl per se, or, somebody of another race. I have been a little too forgiving. And just like, stuff happens, and I'm just always this really forgiving person. I try to be understanding. And that's with guys I date. That's with my friends under most circumstances. And family, everything. Like, I am that way a lot of times. And sometimes I don't like it because it's like, sometimes you gotta let shit go. Like, why am I trying to be this strong, forgiving, understanding person that people can rely on? Because at some point it crosses the line from being a dependable, loyal person to somebody that's getting walked over. And that happens a lot, and it's frustrating. And it's like, why do people feel okay taking advantage of a nice person, like, and so now for a long time I have been that way, but now it's like, I don't want you to come back. Like, you wasted your chance. You should have got me when I was being dumb. Now I'm a little bit older, I'm a little bit wiser, and that's not what I want for myself.
Yeah, no, I do know. Okay, J-Rock, I have another question since you're our only man. How do you feel about a weave?
Why the deep side? He don't even
How do I feel about weave?
How do you feel about weave?
And I'm speaking from
and white girls wear weave too, but for some reason when black bitches wear it, it's like,
it's a problem.
You assume I'm bald-headed.
Exactly.
I'm not opposed to weave if a girl knows how to wear it. Your weave is supposed to look natural. If I can look at you and tell that you have a weave, then I can't fuck with you, because if I can look at you and tell you got a weave, then 2 months from now I'm gonna be able to look at you and tell that you got the next weave. I need to be fooled.
So you ain't never dated a girl with bad weave,
right? Or
it niggas be saying that, and then you look at the roster,
take it out. You don't feel like cutting them tracks out your head, so it might be a day you got to wear a hat.
I should not know that you like. Do you have weave right now?
Yeah.
I can't say, like, real talk, if I was just coming here, I didn't know none of y'all just coming in to check the lighting or something.
Thank you.
I would be like, your shit looks good because it mixes in with your edges, so I really can't tell that it's weed.
Okay, so you're okay with, like, after, even if it looks good, like when you touch it and stuff, you're okay with feeling the rocky?
I mean, this is a, well, I don't want to feel that.
Have you ever got a finger stuck? Because that happens.
But I felt tracks a plethora of times.
Okay, so you are okay with feeling the tracks?
But if I know they got a weave, I'm not going there.
Like, okay, that's good.
That's very
I'm not even gonna go there. But your weave should look natural. That's what it was designed for. It's kind of like LASIK surgery or cosmetic dentistry. You're supposed to look natural. So if it doesn't look natural, then nah, I ain't with it.
Well, you shouldn't just have bad weave anyway. Like, I mean, everybody has their days, but like
bad weave
find a
is
friend.
80s, 90s.
YouTube is here. You can watch tons of videos and learn. Like, I did some faux locks, and I learned on YouTube. Girls, you can get it together. Ain't no reason to be walking around looking raggedy.
And if you can't get it together, hit somebody up and have, because I can't do hair, but
you can phone a friend.
I can phone a friend and I can call a salon.
You can. So I was watching Ayanla Fix My Life, and she did this special one time. Exactly. But she did this special, and she had a group of men who do not date black women. And they all had different reasons.
Were they black?
They were black. And then she brought a group of women who have had issues just dating black men. They're not against dating black men, but they come on and they're supposed to heal together, even though all she doing is yelling and barking orders. But she had one guy came on. How old was he? He was in his 20s. He was 28, business owner. He said that he had an issue with black women because we don't know how to stay in our place.
What place is that?
Exactly. And he said our personalities, our personalities are too
what
strong.
place is that? They don't even
That
know
was
they
the
place.
perfect drop.
So how can you stay in your place if you don't even know what place is that?
What is
and
that? But what is the place?
I wish this was
But
video
I
so
say
y'all
that-
could have seen the look on her
I
face.
say that
Like there
because-
is no place
I
for
say
black
that
women.
because times have changed, and I'm no longer am I allowed to just be a mother and a housekeeper. I have to also go to work, have to keep myself looking good, be fine as the bitches on TV. Like it's so much that I have to do. So what place? You know what I mean?
Multitask.
You have
Quit complaining and
but you get
multitask.
one job. You get
Right,
one
you
job.
got one job
What
to
do I
go to
do?
work
You
and come home to me,
I'm
and
gonna
you
give
can't
you
do
that
that.
good dick that you've been crazy about in the last episode.
What I will say is, I was talking to my boyfriend about this before. I was like, babe, do you have any? My boyfriend is not black, but he's only
You
dates
got a
black
boyfriend?
women.
I mean, last time I was in here.
I don't.
I'm talking about that. Go ahead.
Hey, we don't know like you in trouble.
Okay.
Edit.
You don't have to edit that out. Like that was good. All right. So I was talking to him and I was like, babe, like what are some stereotypes that you have experienced with black women and you find them to be true? And he said the whole like, y'all are just like, he didn't say it like that, but he was like, y'all are just like so outspoken. Like sometimes I wish you would just,
He was scared to say it, huh?
he was like, sometimes I wish you would just like be quiet. And I was like, and I was sitting there like, that is one of the stereotypes that I actually do agree with. I have been in so many situations where I've seen my mom do it, I've seen myself do it, I've seen my friends do it. It's just like, shut the fuck up. Sometimes you gotta let your dude be the dude. Let him be the man. You don't always
Women
gotta
should
say
be
something
seen
back.
and not heard.
Wait a
Right?
minute.
Okay.
Wait a minute.
That's
what-
too far.
well,
Hold up.
That's the
Wait.
old school.
That's too far.
That's like y'all know the old
Shut it
school
up.
saying
I
to
just
put
wanna
the
be
belt.
clear, that's
putting
not
the
what I
belt-
was
That's
saying.
not what Medina was saying. We
saying,
all
I
got
agree.
it on this side.
I'm saying
I
there are
agree.
moments when
Sometimes,
you
yes.
Yeah.
All
I
of y'all
agree.
grandmothers would have clapped at what I just said. Now
I don't know.
times
My
have
grandma
changed.
kind of on one.
My
some
granny's
days.
spicy,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
She
my
still be
grandma
cutting
crazy
up,
as
and
fuck.
she the
my marriage
first
just had
lady
her
of the
third
church.
marriage.
Ooh. Sometimes I think like guys say that, but it's like you're saying it at the wrong time. This wasn't the time I needed to shut up. Like you're just upset because you don't like what I'm saying. It's not that I'm being loud. It's not that maybe I'm being disrespectful, but maybe I'm not. You just don't like the words that are coming out of my mouth, so you want me to shut up.
You don't like that I'm telling
That's
you
the
that now,
problem.
since you're making all of this money and you're an actor, that I'm trying to tell you to budget. You don't like that I'm being real with you. Nigga, budget your damn money. And I am constantly telling my boyfriend that. Stop spending money like a fucking minority. Save your money.
Right.
Like, and
That's important.
If that is being outspoken, well, nigga, I'm going to be outspoken because I care about you. Like,
Minorities? What do you might as well say you people.
I know, right?
I'm just saying, like, minorities have an issue with saving money. That is like a fact.
That's another stereotype.
Yeah,
Another
it is.
stereotype.
It is.
Stereotype.
Because
Stereotype.
some people are good at it. I personally am not, so I do
I'm
fall
good
into
at
that
it.
stereotype. I'm not
I'm
good at
working
saving
on
money.
it.
Yeah,
I'm
I'm
working
working.
on it.
It's a constant work in progress.
I know
Woo,
who
it's
to
a work
call
in
if I need to
progress.
borrow something, man. Tell me no
I
bullshit.
wanted to. So we've been digging in on like our stereotype. What are some stereotypes about men, like black men?
All of them
That
got big dicks.
I was just about to
Yes,
say.
and most of
don't.
them don't.
They don't.
You said most black men don't have big
Yeah,
dicks.
I would say most. Well, just from my personal experiences, most of their dicks are not big. I don't like
So-
big dicks.
Like a couple
I
good
like
ones.
an average one.
Yeah, but you run across a couple good ones.
Historically, if you put all cultures of men, if you line them up, like black men are supposed to have.
Yeah, but that's
that
on
pack.
average. So
brother
you
the
got
niggas, the
somebody
bigger the
that's got a really big dick that's skewing it for all the little dick niggas on the other side, you know?
Here's what
I mean,
I'm gonna
but
say.
that's why
With
you
black
say on
men, I
average.
have always had a big dick.
Ooh,
with
I
black
hate
men.
them. So maybe it's just like I'm not attracting that because I don't like that. That could be it.
Yeah.
I don't know. That they have a big dick that they like to be in control, and a lot of times
You
that's
are in
true.
control. That's
no,
the purpose in having one.
no.
Like-
Do you have a
Sometimes
big
they're kind of
penis?
weak.
Do I have a big dick?
Do you have a big peen? Yeah.
Big penis? You want me to be honest?
Yeah. Like, is it big or?
I've never been told that my dick wasn't big. I've always been told that it was really, really, really big. That's why when y'all was having the conversation about about anal sex, like I've never had anal sex because like no girl will let
If
me
you
do
have a
that.
big dick, you shouldn't do that.
I never really been into anal sex because like I kind of knew like I had a big penis when my father, I was standing next to him in the bathroom one time at I think it was a baseball game. And I had to be like 7 or 8, but I can remember this to this day, looking over and like, wow, like. And as I got a little older, like middle school, high school age, I used to be thinking to myself, like, yo, like I'm a.
When I grow up,
when
I grow up, I want to be big.
I'm
I'm gonna be good.
Yeah, but seriously though, like, I mean, I think I'm blessed. I mean, I don't mean it too much. I think I'm blessed. And you can tell me different if you like, but yeah.
Well.
Yeah.
Hey guys, just a quick reminder. If you're listening to the show and you like what you hear, please leave us a rating and review on iTunes or a comment on SoundCloud. We'd really appreciate it. And if it's negative, stop hating. I'm just kidding, kind of. But for real though, if that's what it is, just send an email to cocktails.atl@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the show.
So besides having these strong personalities, they also said that a lot of women, so one guy was celibate and he was a God-fearing man and he was really involved in the church, but he wasn't in a leadership position. So he said that a lot of the black women he was meeting at church weren't checking for him. It wasn't because of his abstinence. It was because he was just like a regular church member, and that so many black women always want a man with status.
Not
Black
true.
women definitely want a nigga with status.
I do. I like
want
status.
a man
Some
with
sort
money.
of status.
And they want a man, like you just said, with a big dick. I mean, like.
I think
and
having status is attractive.
I don't think that's too
like
much.
you can work towards it.
I got something to
Go
say.
ahead. Go ahead.
She like low key niggas.
I got something to say, because here is the thing, and we have talked about this before. It's like when a black woman wants a man with money, it's a problem. But white bitches can walk in here and be like, I want that NBA player, I want the basketball player, and I'm gonna take your money and everything. And it's just like, okay, here we go.
Yeah.
But when
nobody's
come and want
hounding them
something,
about working.
no one's hounding them about their resume in school, your grades,
How many kids you
got
got.
kids. Like, it's just like the white women come though, and it's just like, oh, I'm gonna wife you up, Becky. Yes, my kids will have nice, smooth hair.
Or what about I had to go through all this to groom myself to be a good wife for you? Why can't I just want a man that meets my standards? Like,
Exactly.
I have an education. I want a man with an education. I don't have no kids, so I want a nigga with no kids. Like,
I want a man who's ambitious. The men who are ambitious
can
usually have
match me.
status.
Right. Can match
So
my shit.
let me
And
ask
what's
this
wrong
then.
with that?
A man with an education, a man who got his shit together, got his money right, may have a big dick. Okay.
I did not ask for a big dick. I want a regular
that's
one.
on
But
my
okay.
You just want a regular.
I
thing.
want a
Okay,
regular
okay.
one. I
want a
can't
big
handle
dick.
all that.
In Atlanta, and we've been talking Atlanta, you'll meet a lot of men like that with they shit together.
No, you won't.
No.
Thousands
You
of
mean
hoes
people lying, taking you to their homeboy's house because he got the nice
I need to
house.
introduce y'all to some of my homies.
I would appreciate it. I asked you a couple months ago.
Can that be the next episode?
Okay.
It can be, and I'm
Bring
putting
the
it in here
homies.
because my homies, the
link up.
reason why we're
Yeah.
homies is because we're alike. Like birds of a feather really flock together. So, me and my homies, we're cool because, like, yo, I feel well represented. Like, when I know my niggas is out, they make me look good. Like, yo, you got your shit together. You feel what I'm
But
saying?
you still have to have some level of chemistry. Like, even though
Yeah.
you might meet all of my criteria, do I want to go eat with you? Do I want to watch TV with you? Can I just lay up and chill with you? Like, do we like the same type of music? Like, I mean, maybe I'm
Like
a
little
picky.
things.
How many hoes do you
And
have
how
with
many
all that
hoes
going on
do
that
you
you're
come with?
with the big dick?
Are you
and the
spreading it with
status?
everybody?
in Atlanta, a man who has himself together, who's blessed,
His main girl
who's
has a
educated,
baseball mitt to catch all
who's
that pussy coming
educated,
in.
he can have pretty much any woman that he wants. But at the end
And
of
he-
the day,
he takes advantage of that.
and he takes it, he's supposed to.
But I'm just saying, if you're taking advantage of dealing with so many different women, how do you even separate knowing a good woman from a regular
From
woman?
the hoes.
Because if you see a beautiful,
Oh, yeah, they know.
you just said you want a woman to be seen, not heard. So why are you dealing with a successful woman and not dealing with the bimbo?
Right? Because they ain't going to have shit to
Because
say
if
no
she's
way.
beautiful and you want her to be quiet, then let me do what I do best and be silent.
I mean, my ex is a doctor.
I'm saying, but it's
So
just like, do
it's
you
like, I
expect her
don't
to
deal
have
with
an intelligent
bimbos.
Is she black?
response?
Yeah, she's black. She's black.
Shout out to the Black Doctor Day.
And my ex before that is a spokesperson in the White House. So it's like, I don't deal with the thotties, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just me personally. Like, I know guys who do. who got their shit together, but I think they'll snap out of that one time. I mean,
Eventually.
Yeah, eventually. Like, nobody wants to date a girl who can't meet them halfway with success, because when you're out with your bitch, your woman, pardon my language, you're making her look good, you want her to make you look good too. So I don't want to be out making this girl look good and she can't make me look good. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I ain't just talking physical attractiveness. I'm talking about like, oh, where did you go to school? I graduated from such and such. Oh, well, where did you go to school? Well, I didn't. I'm just a waitress at...
Well, what if she's like, well, I didn't, but I host a radio show and I've done well for myself even though I didn't go to school?
That's cool. You got something going. You got something going for yourself.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, so I'm going to change the subject here. Well, keeping the same subject, but I personally dealt with this myself. When I've always dated everybody, like all the races. I've never been like the type of person where it's like, wait a minute. Yeah. But I've always been the type of person where ever since I was in like first grade, I was like playing footsie with Benny Gonzalez under the table. Like I always liked everybody. Mm-hmm. But so like when I started dating my boyfriend now, I realized like he treats me differently than I have ever been treated by any black man. And I have dated like some
what race
really.
Is he now?
He's from El Salvador, so he is Latino.
Oh, she done stepped out the box.
So let me ask you this: do you feel like that he treats you well is attributed to the fact that he's not black, or that he really loves you?
Well, here's what I'm gonna say, like, because this is, sometimes I battle with this. Like, sometimes I'm like, every black man I have dated has had problems with commitment issue, like commitment. Mm-hmm. There's always like a commitment issue. And most of the time I think it's stemming from dads not being there. And I'm not saying every black father is not in the black kid's life, but that is like that happens a lot. A lot of people don't know their dads, or the dad left in the middle. And it's just like, wow, like you start dating a black guy and all of a sudden you get to a certain point and you want to know, rightfully so, what are we doing? What are we doing here? And then all of a sudden he's like, oh, you don't hear from, he gets weird, he gets scared, he don't want to talk to you no more. And you're just like, did I do something wrong? No, I didn't. I'm having raw dog sex with you. You ate my booty. I should be asking you these questions.
I should have already known.
I had a pregnancy scare. What the fuck are you doing? Like, so it's like, sometimes, and that has happened a lot with black men, and I'm always like, why?
I'm gonna try to be as political and speak for black men as possible. We just
you got a lot of weight on your shoulders.
The average black man likes to play until he knows that the time is coming where he don't have much time to play no more.
Okay.
Just keeping it funky. So it's like, if I got my shit together, I'm educated, I got a good job, my money's right, I'm blessed. I'm trying to, show that to a couple of women so that I know my options are this when I am ready to settle down. Mm-hmm. So I would say that tends to go between the ages of, for men, 26 to 35. Reason being,
30.
I feel like it's even older. I feel like you're being generous.
I'm being generous.
You're being very generous.
I really want to say 45. Like,
yeah,
I believe him.
The president has a 12-year-old son, if I'm not correct. He's what, 70? So the point I'm trying to make is like men.
We don't fuck with him, right?
No, we don't fuck with him. But it is what it is. That's what he has. Point I'm trying to make is like men. It ain't no deadline on us. It's not a deadline like it is with women. Women, they hit 30 and they like, it's panic mode. Men hit 30 and we just getting our shit going. Like, it's like, yo, I'm 30 now. I finally got a good job. My beard growing in. My chest is poking out. Like, we good money. Like, we ready to get started. I'm gonna prove it to y'all. How old are y'all?
We're not talking about that.
Okay, we ain't gonna talk age. But I would assume y'all are, I'm assuming y'all in y'all upper 20s. Okay.
Yes.
I'm gonna drink this.
Y'all, women in their upper 20s ready to settle down, especially in Atlanta. I'm gonna tell you something.
Yeah.
Y'all was going to the compound with AG Entertainment at 19, 20 years old. If y'all are attractive,
as soon as I got here.
Attractive women are going to the compound at 19, 20 years old.
Guilty.
So by the time they're 25, 26, they sick of that. It's like, okay, I've been to all the parties. I've sat in the sections. I've popped bottles, bam.
Well,
this is Atlanta now. This is Atlanta.
The same damn people.
Men in Atlanta and just on average period around the country, like you really not getting your shit together. Like you're not getting your money right, all of that until you damn near 30. So by the time you're able to afford to go to the compound and spend $200 for parking, Alex, stop that shit, bruh. Stop that shit.
Please stop.
$200 for parking. You ain't trying to just stand on the floor. You want a table.
Because you're going to be in the way.
So you're going to have to spend $2,000 a piece with you and one of your homies to take care of the ones who can't do it. By the time men are able to do that, we damn near 30. So it's like we just getting started. Remember, y'all, and I hate to say this, but women start to like decline a little bit at 30. Men, we just...
What you mean we decline?
In physical appearance, women start to decline around 30. Unless they on top of their shit.
Right.
Men at 30,
Y'all
they
better
just
go
starting
vegan.
to look
Y'all
sexy.
start to look good.
They're
finally.
starting to fill in. They starting to, you know what I'm saying? So
This is true. That
Malcolm
beard.
X.
Yeah, I agree.
That beard.
Malcolm X.
Yes.
Be looking nice.
The jaw is sitting right. You don't look like a
I'ma
baby
tell
no
you
more.
something.
Grew into your
Smell
head.
good.
Malcolm X said this. Malcolm X said that your woman should be half your age plus 7. And I didn't understand that when I was a little nigga, but I understand it now because what it is this here. A man who's 30 years old, half his age is what, 15 plus 7 is what, 22?
You good at math? Because I was still like,
Yeah.
Carrying numbers.
So
According to my
the point I'm trying to make is a 22 to 24-year-old woman for a man who's 30, he can teach her something. He's been through the ropes. He can teach her this, that, and the other. She's ready to learn. But y'all motherfuckers who are at the same age, y'all feel like, yo, we equals, nigga. Like, yo, I'm bringing home my check, you bringing home yours. My opinion is 50-50 with yours. And me and, like, we...
y'all want to
That's
do
when
it.
y'all trying to tell us to be quiet.
So that's why
That makes sense.
your wife...
It actually does make sense.
Your wife should be half your age plus 7. That's what Malcolm X said.
I mean, I'm okay with an older
I'm okay
man.
with that, too. I
Yeah,
always say
that's
the older.
fine.
So meaning, let's just say, I know y'all don't want to throw your ages out there, but if y'all are 27, 28, that means y'all should be with a man who is what?
Like 40.
I like younger.
I don't know.
Damn
That's
near
doing.
40.
I am with somebody that's damn near 40.
Yeah, and that's fine.
That's cool with me.
Yeah,
Like
so
over 30.
the game is to be sold, not to be told. But yeah, that's real. Like,
I
you
just
never
think
see...
guys need to play.
eye-opening
My
for
dad
me.
is one of those men, and I feel like he didn't realize.
Wait,
until-
one of what men?
The men who just wants to play until they can't play no more. And my dad is still an attractive man.
How old is he?
He is 53. So he got sick. He was in the hospital. And then he was like, oh shit, I have moved to St. Louis. Who's going to come check on me? I don't have family out here. I don't have anybody out here. Like if I drop down and I'm dead, then what's going to happen? And I say, you need to get your shit together. Like I don't know. Why don't that is old, but he's always been the one that was playing. And so then it was like when he wanted to get serious, the women he was seeing, they're married. They don't want him. It's too late. So now you got to continue to play with girls that are way younger. Right. Like it's just
and you 50 trying to date
like some
younger
guys
chicks, they
do
ain't
that
really with it.
too
Like,
much.
The cutoff
Unless
date
you're
gonna be
like
in their
filthy
30s.
riff. You're like a Hugh Hefner, bitch. I'ma leave my nigga and come over here. Like what?
We can make something work.
For real.
Something.
Yeah, but I get what you're saying about people wanting to play, and you got to think about the age. I consider that.
I love hearing the truth. And when you said that, you know, you guys get to your 30s and you're just now peaking, you're like, I'm making money. I can do these things that we saw people doing, and now like the bitches want me. I totally get that. I might
Getting
not
you a
really
nice
agree with
car
it because that's
now,
not
like,
the stuff that matters in life, but it does, it makes sense. And depending on who you are trying to date, I guess you have a little bit more understanding. But yeah, I'm just sitting here like, wow, he was real with that.
But how long does that last though? Like, okay, if you hit 30 and you're making that type of money, like how much of that lifestyle do you need to feed your ego?
That's what that's the thing that I look at. I'm kind of
So
like,
can
you're
I answer
old
that?
and you're still up in
Like, you're
aroma.
still-
Nigga,
Yeah,
get,
at
like,
35.
do you have property? Can you buy some, like that's why
And if
niggas
you
don't want
do-
grown ass women though. Black
And if
women.
you do have those things going for yourself, what is it about you that you don't want somebody that you go home to? It's not going to be a different 22-year-old girl at your house every
they
other
do
day.
want somebody to go home to, but they want to make sure that they've done, and this benefits y'all too. If you've done everything twice, I'm talking about from a man's perspective, it's like when you do settle down, it's kind of like, okay, the little chick walking by with the fat ass and the pretty face, yeah, she got a fat ass, pretty face, but that's not gonna move me the way it did when I was 27, 28 years old, because I've been there, done that twice. I know what I can do. I know I can get you if I want you. That don't impress me no more. Now I'm about this woman who I've settled down with, and that's what it is. It's like that don't impress me no more. I know I can do that. I can do that in my sleep. So men, a lot of men want to know. A lot of men, like a lot of people try to see if they still got it sometimes, flirting at work and, nah, I know I still got it. And like,
Are you single?
Yeah, I am single.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm approaching my mid-30s. So
do you want to be married?
Yeah, I want to be married one day.
And you want to have children?
I want to have children, the whole nine. And I plan on doing that in the next 900 days.
Nigga, what?
Yeah, the next
about 3 years,
yeah.
2.5, 3 years.
Oh,
The next 2.5, 3 years. I've had women ask me, can they have my baby?
Ew.
What?
Such important.
Or I ain't gonna even say ask. They've said that
They wanted
I
to.
would have your baby. I wouldn't mind having your baby. But it's because I'm 30 plus. I got my shit together.
Oh, you're a catch.
Yeah, because I ain't never told them.
No kids.
I've
I don't have
never
no
said that to
kids.
anybody.
You want to have your what?
I want to have your baby. I don't even know how you introduce that into
how
the
do you-
conversation.
Y'all never told a man that before?
No, but you get
Because then they might try and put the baby in you, and it's like, whoa, I meant in the future.
later. But as a woman, I think we've all heard, like, if when in a couple years, if you ain't got nobody, then I would love for you to be my baby mama. Like, we could just really, I've heard that before.
I've heard
But I've
that.
never told a guy, like, hey, I want to have your babies. No.
Not even during sex?
Hell no.
No.
A man has told me that, but I've never said that.
Be honest.
No. A nigga might ask you, like, oh, you gonna have my babies? No. Nigga,
I haven't.
I just act like I don't
That's
hear
that
them.
mediocre.
I act like I
That's
hear
that-
them.
And make
that's
a
that-
noise or something. Like,
That's
no.
that mediocre.
That is
right
not
there.
that mediocre. That's
It's
that
not.
responsible.
Because
Nigga
if
beating
it's
it
good,
up, you gonna tell him what
but
you
if
wanna
it's
hear.
good,
No,
he
no.
might really put that baby in you.
Yeah,
And is that
I'm
what
like,
you
leave it.
want?
No.
Like, what? No.
No.
We're just talking. It was just fun.
You gotta be a full.
I want to ask you a question. What are some stereotypes that you hear about black women, whether you think they're true or not?
Stereotypes about black women.
Can you swim, Kiki?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you swim, J-Rock?
Nah.
Okay.
Ooh,
that's a black stereotype. That's a everybody. That's a black everybody.
When I was a kid, my grandmother made us do swimming lessons. She was like,
my
"Y'all are
mom-
not going to
I had to
not be
take
able to
swimming
swim."
lessons.
And I'm glad I took them.
my mom was specific on raising me and my brother and my sister. She was very specific on making sure we didn't fit that stereotypical criteria that black people have. You're swimming.
That stuff costs though. Like, I
always
come
had
from
Florida.
zero. So it's like my mom, public school.
Where are you from?
I did it in the
Chicago.
summertime.
Okay.
Yeah, Chicago. But I've been in Atlanta pretty much all my life since I was like 8, 9 years old. But yeah, we couldn't afford swimming lessons. Yeah.
I get it.
Yeah, it happened.
But
That was a
stereotypes
solid
about
thing.
black women.
Yes.
I thought of some while I was sitting there thinking, black women, this is from a male's perspective. We think that black women wear a lot of weave. We think black women wear a lot of makeup. We do think black women, it's a good stereotype. Black women are go-getters, meaning them not having a man is not gonna
Stop
them from, going to get the car that they want or buying a house. I love to see a black woman who doesn't have a man but still has purchased a home and
I like
or
seeing that
purchased
too.
her
It's
own
kind of
car.
like empowering a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, go girl, you
go
did it.
ahead.
And I'm gonna tell you something else black men love. This is not a stereotype, but we love this. We love when we meet women, you start up a little text convo or a little flirting or whatever, and she doesn't have time for you. We love that.
Take notes,
We
ladies.
love that. We love that. Don't have time for me, baby. And and I ain't talking about don't have time for me because you out fucking with the next nigga. I'm talking about don't have time for me
Because you're busy.
because you're busy. Because you're busy. Yep.
That's the only
are
thing
positive
about dating
things.
Spanish
I like
dudes.
that.
My dude is like, nah.
Mamacita.
He calls you all the
I got a
time.
question,
We'll be
though.
at
I got
lunch
a
and he'll
question.
be blowing her phone
What
up.
made
And I'm
you-
like,
He
"We're
wants to
just
be the
at
one, the
lunch."
only one doing shit. Like he just got casted for a show and he's filming right now. He's filming and calling me like, "Where you at?" I was like, "Babe, you're on set. Leave me alone."
Yeah.
I have dreams.
Why the Latino man?
Because he probably approached her right.
He did. He was pressed. It wasn't like a off the bat when he started like hollering at me. I was like, oh yeah, I always wanted this. I've always dated everybody, so it wasn't like, oh, you're not black, I want you. This was like I've always dated everyone. I've always had one night stands with every single race. Like, so it was just he showed like a level of persistence that I have never experienced in my whole entire life. He treats me, and we've been together off and on for a very long time, and he has always treated me with the most respect that I could ever even imagine.
Yeah.
Like, even when I'm not my best self, even when I have done things that I'm not proud of, he, it's never like, oh, like, why the fuck would you? It's always like respect there. And I appreciate that.
I'm going to say this. I think a lot of women are open to dating men outside of their race. A lot of black women are open to dating men outside of their race because most men outside of the black race were raised different from us. Meaning, if you're an average black man, our older brothers, uncles, big homies in the hood, when we're young, they're talking hoes. A plethora of them. I smashed this chick, I smashed that chick. And
when you're young,
friends,
like how young?
Young.
I mean, from the age that you're old enough to really understand it. Like from 12, 13, 14, 15. If your older brothers are saying, oh, nigga, I got all the hoes, I'm doing this, that, and the other. And they homies,
crazy.
and their homies are praising them for, oh, yeah, nigga, yeah, you the man. You're the man if you smash a bunch of chicks. You know what I'm saying? When you're, high school, college age. And that's what black men see from a young age.
Do you think that's okay? Because I don't think that's okay.
I don't think that's okay, but it is what it is. We're here to discuss the truth and not what we think is okay or not. Your boyfriend, the Spanish, the Caucasian descent, their big brothers and homies aren't talking that. Like, I guarantee you, they're raised a little different. So when they get to high school and college, they're focused on sports and, whatever it is they do.
Things you should be focused on.
Young black men are focused on women.
Everything
a lot
that
of black
you
men
be
play
focused
sports in high school and college for the hoes.
Which is so
I majored in
crazy.
education in college for the hoes because, like, I was like, I told the lady when I got my counselor, I'm like, yo, she's like, what are you planning on majoring in? I was like, I don't know, but where are the women at? She's like, I got a good place for you. She said, I'm going to send you to the education department. And sure enough, when she sent me there were 2 other guys in there
probably
and all women.
reason.
And if you, to this day, if you go through my Facebook or my Instagram, like all of my college friends, well, I ain't gonna say all of them, but a plethora of them are women because I was in the education department. So I was around women all day, every day. And me and the other 2 guys, we giving each other.
Did you learn?
I graduated at the top of my class. I won't say it was because of me. It was because the women,
I take that back.
all the women were, we did
Helping
group projects. So we in a group with a bunch of women. Of course, the one guy in the group, they ain't gonna put a bunch of tasks on him. So yeah. Graduated.
Once again, here we go.
Magna cum laude.
Saving.
A stereotype, I think, because you're dating someone of another race, I think that it's a stereotype, and I found it to be true that younger black men are disrespectful when dating women. Like, I don't date anyone. I'm in my, mid-20s. I don't date anyone in around that age because I don't have time for the foolishness. But I usually date about 7 years my senior.
Half your age plus 7.
Yeah, and most guys that in that age, they're more respectable. And even like different culture. I've dated black men, but of different culture. Like I've dated an African, a Haitian, and like different cultures, they do treat you better. They're like more respectable. Like won't even let you open a water bottle. Like, oh, okay, I'm a real princess with you. Okay, I like that. I can submit to this,
and it feels good. But then the crazy thing about it is sometimes when you are treated like that, like in that cherishable way, sometimes you don't even know how to accept it, and you're like, wow, like
I can accept it.
Yeah, I like that.
I like it, but sometimes
it feels good.
Kind of caught off guard because
good guys finish last.
Yeah, you can't be. You can't being a good guy and treating somebody like a princess is not always one and the same. Because you might be that corny good guy.
Bullshit.
You still have to have a connection with that person.
Let me tell you something. The basics of chivalry.
The guy who opens the door for you, the guy who sends you flowers and edible arrangements. He's doing, oh, that's sweet, but he's doing too much. You're going to IG that shit, but you're going to cheat.
No.
You're going to cheat with the nigga.
Not if he come with a big dick too.
You're going to cheat with the nigga who dicking you down.
This is what happens.
Who's at Aroma every night.
Listen, we're not.
He does have a point.
Listen,
you
I'm
have
not
a
going
point,
to act
but
like
this is the
my
thing.
homies are those guys.
When you're the nice guy and you're not you don't really have that connection and you're doing the nice things for the wrong person, that's when you get walked over.
You gotta do nice guy. You need to say corny. The corny ones are the ones who get walked over. If you're just like a corny ass dude,
like that's what I'm saying though. But you are nice, but you don't have a connection. So to me, you're a corny person. You might be good for somebody else.
Because you shouldn't be doing all that anyway if we don't have a connection.
Okay, but opening up my door is not a connection. My brother opens my door. That's just like protocol. Open the damn door.
Right.
Yeah. Like
I guess, but like, nah, I'm not opening no door. What? The door?
Take that back. He's a liar. He is a liar. He is a liar.
He out here lying.
We get up and leave this.
Why are you lying? I thought you was being so honest before.
He's a liar. He will open the door for us. He might not open the car door.
I ain't opening the car door. Okay. And me and her have had this conversation.
We've had this conversation. Yeah.
I'm not, because that's what they created auto locks for. You know what I'm saying? If somebody's chasing us, baby, chirp, get in. Like, let's go.
Yeah, the car door is extra, but the regular door.
The regular door.
My boyfriend opens my car door.
Like, even if I think she's a slut, I'm opening the door.
I don't care about it, but I like it.
Or pull out my chair. I got it.
But that's something you probably didn't know that you liked, or even might require now until you experienced it. So we just don't get that dating black guys in our age group. You know, you won't get that type of shit.
Yeah, I don't like them.
He opens
I don't
my
like
door.
guys my age either.
If we're out to eat, I would like for you to order my food.
I like that too.
I love that. I like
and
when he's like, and she's gonna have.
Make a decision.
No.
It's cool. I like that.
I'm
like, take charge. Oh, no.
I've dated younger guys because they are like trying to impress you with you being older, so they give you more. But sometimes they can get a little rowdy. Like, I had this, my last boyfriend gave me $10,000 for my birthday. Like, and he was like 24. I was turning like 25. But he was just... Like, he was really giving, but because he was so giving, he felt like he could do whatever the fuck he wanted to do to me.
He gave you 10 bands for your birthday?
Yeah.
And he wasn't even really younger than you. You were 25.
I'm like, y'all the same. Y'all the same.
Like a year apart. And then, like, this guy that I used to date, like, he was, like, 2 years older. I think I was, like, 23. He was, like, 21. He used to buy me, like, bags, shoes.
Girl, you was just meeting the tricks because y'all was the same age.
For real, because at that age, niggas got that type of money.
That's what I was thinking. What were y'all doing?
Yeah, he was, I mean, but he was an athlete.
Okay.
But he was really sweet, but he was like a pathological liar. Like, it's like you have 2 kids on the way, and then you're like, I don't know whose kids those are. It's like, they look just like you. How do you not know whose kids these are?
Yeah.
Period. But it was just like, wait, I never got $10,000 for my birthday now. Hold on.
I'm not. Yeah, me either. I can't get with the younger guys.
No, I'm not teaching you shit. That's my thing. I don't want to.
I don't want to teach. I like you can leave. Your mama should have done that.
I can train you to be what I want you to be.
I don't want to train a nigga.
I refuse to train somebody so that I can train them up for the next person.
Bitch. No.
Like, no, I'm not doing that. I want you to be okay already. Now,
I want you to teach me something. I want
exactly.
You to
That's another thing about older guys.
Yeah, they teach you patience. It's like, it's like my baby. It's like, I raise you how I want you.
I know patience.
But then sometimes you get that other. Sometimes you get that older guy, and you think that because he's older, he might be more mature, and then you find out, damn, you still 12.
Yeah, you're like, stereotype wasn't
Why
true.
can't you grow up?
The guy that cut up my clothes was older. It's like, whoa, you were doing something.
How much older was he?
8 years.
No, that's out of control. You're too grown.
I was maybe 21, 22 at the time. He was like 29.
Are you cutting up some young woman's clothes?
It was like you're disrespectful. I don't like older men because they're like stuck in their ways. Like a father, I got a dad. I don't need another one. So it's just like I don't really like that. So it's just like maybe like 5 years. 5 years to like 2 years younger, I can do. But it's just like I don't like. It's just like I worship my dad. So it's just like I do not need to worship you in your half-ass ways.
I don't mind putting you on game, but I don't really want to teach you everything.
It's so funny, and we can end on this. I found a different when I dated before I was with my boyfriend. When I would date older men, because I always dated older men. Yeah. It actually worked out, not in my favor. Like I was using them, but it was always like my way. It wasn't like they taught me things, but then it would also be like
they want to impress you because you're young,
right? And it's like I was also teaching them, but
girl,
right? It was just like, oh well, it's gonna be. This is what we're doing. But that might be.
And I'm okay with that. I like that too. That works out.
Yeah.
Would you stop thinking about what everyone wants? Stop thinking about what I want, what he wants, what your parents want. What do you want? What do you want?
It's not that simple.
What do you want? What do you want?
All right, Diane, what you got for us today, girl?
Ladies,
let me tell you about this place called Five Church Atlanta. Have you heard of it? I haven't, but is it in Midtown? It's in Midtown. It's where the old Shout used to be. All I know is somebody cheated on somebody. It ended up getting sold, and now it's Five Church Atlanta. Okay, girl, you're so nosy. You know everyone's business. Okay, so let me jump right into the menu. So what I love about this place is it might be a little bit pricey, but it's worth it. The theme is everything is kind of churchy, but in a funny way. So they have cocktails. They have one cocktail called the Holy Water. The Holy Water. Don't you just love it? It's literally so tasty. Everything was just so fresh. It has 4 Roses bourbon, sweet tea, lemon juice, blackberries, mints, and blue agave. That drink. That cocktail, ladies, here at CockTales. Okay, Diane. It was amazing. They also have a drink called Gingers Have More Fun. I ordered that just because I loved the name of it. For our appetizer, we got a couple of different appetizers because we was on a double date. So we got they had some marinara and mussels, and it was like freshly steamed mussels sitting on top of roasted tomatoes and a lemon zest garlicky sauce. They gave you grilled bread to dip it in the sauce. Oh my gosh. Okay, Diane, what else did you have? For my main entree, I ended up getting, what was it called? It was some type of chicken, like a half chicken with herb crusts on the top of it. It was amazing. It came with some rice. It came with, I added some smoked Gouda mac and cheese. It was a little eerie. It was different. And yeah, ladies, that was about it. So here's the address. 1197 Peachtree Street, Northeast Atlanta, Georgia, 30361. They open from 11 a.m. to 12 a.m. Check it out. It's very, very cute. So whether you want to go on a date, which I suggest you do, or if you go for brunch with your ladies, either way, try it out. Tell us how you like it. And until next time, bye, ladies. Bye, Diane.
Turn around. Once upon a time, not long ago, I was a hoe, was a hoe, was a hoe, was a hoe, was a hoe.
This week's cocktails are going to be a little different because, like I said in the beginning of the show, we were running short on time. So we had to do these a little bit different. We're kind of all separate right now. But Medina and I are both going to do some listener cocktails before we dig back into J-Rock.
We have a special cocktail from one of our listeners. I lost my virginity at 18, senior year of high school, as revenge sex due to my boyfriend cheating on me because I wouldn't have sex with him. I had sex with a successful ATL trap rapper's DJ. We went to high school together, and he was that fine, light-skinned dude with green eyes and curly hair. That's saying a lot without saying his name. So I thought I was hot shit when we started kicking it. My parents are accountants. Ooh, y'all got money. And they were out of town at a conference one weekend. I invited him over, and I couldn't take him to my little twin bed because, of course, I had to impress him. To my parents' bed we went. We might have had sex there twice, but I made sure I changed the sheets and made him take his wrapper and condom home with him. I didn't know much, but I sure knew I didn't want that condom clogging up our pipes because I was not prepared to explain that, girl, because it wouldn't have been no explanation. You would have had your ass beat. Side note, random fact about me. I'm 28 and have never sucked dick in my life, but I always get head. That's a requirement. I tell guys up front, they always think they can be the first one. I used to say I would never do it, but now I'm just waiting on that special someone. Sincerely, Anonymous, please. I got a past character and fitness for the bar. Good luck, girl. You better get it.
This one from one of the listeners says, "Hi, ladies. I've sent y'all about 5 emails with advice and cocktails, but I really can't tell my friends and they listen to the show, so please don't say my name. We got you, girl." Anyway, I wrote in a while back asking about how to get the car that's in my name back from my little young boy. I remember you, and I hope you got your car back, girl. So this time, I don't need advice, just have a confession or a cocktail of my own. So I hit the dude up, who still has my car, by the way, and wanted him to come over to give me some. Do y'all know this nigga tried to play like he was too tired and had work in the morning, then text me 2 hours later complaining about something I put on Instagram. So since he was still up, I decided I was just going to go over to his house. I pull up to the house, and he's there, and so is his baby's mama's car. So nigga just been lying. fine. Anyway, I was pissed. So I had some lotion and baby oil in the car, and I covered his entire windshield with it. Well, my windshield. Anyway, it was about 2 hours before he was supposed to go to work, and he was asleep. So, of course, he texted me when he got up, and he was mad, but it's cool, because next time I'm just going to have the car towed while he's at work. Sometimes you got to be petty for the dick. Sincerely, Petty Mayonnaise. Ladies and guys, too, if you ever need advice or have a confession or a cocktail of your own, please send it in to the email cocktales.atl@gmail.com. That's CockTales.atl@gmail.com. Now we'll get back to J-Rock and finish the show.
Do we want to let J-Rock give a tale?
Yes. J-Rock, you got to
Obviously, it wouldn't be a cocktail. Well, it's still a cocktail because you have the cock.
But right.
You do. Well, we need to hear one.
Yeah, we need...
And cocktails consist of a story about...
Dating, relationships,
sex. But it could be good or bad.
Yeah.
Wow, y'all putting me on the spot, man.
You knew
just
it was
think
coming.
of the last girl you were involved with in any type of way. And just share that
something
story.
Interesting that happened.
Or the worst or the best.
Yeah.
Those are the good ones.
I don't know.
Do you want us to give you topics? Have you ever...
give me a topic.
The last girl that you spent money on, what was it and why?
Over $200.
That's money. Okay. If I've spent over $200, the last girl I spent over $200 on, I was trying to impress her. I mean, just like any other guy. I wanted her to know that I can spend $200 and it's not going to send me to the poorhouse. I wanted her to know that I'm doing something special for you, because like if a man spends $200 or more on you, he fucking with you. Like I'm not spending that type of money on a woman who, I'm not fucking with.
I don't know.
Somebody with morals and value, like a real man. A trick. We're not talking about a trick.
Yeah, we're not talking about a trick, because like I value my $200. So if I spend $200 or better on you, is I really fuck with you. Like I'm not just doing that to impress a thought. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
What did you get?
What did you spend the
Well, the ultimate goal is to get the box. I mean,
I'm saying, what were you spending
when
the
you spent
$200?
what did I spend it on?
We nosy.
Right. I thought that was what the story was.
I bought a couple pair of red bottoms. So
it was well over $200.
It was well over $200.
A bag here and there. If I fuck with you, I'm gonna send you edible arrangements. I'm gonna send you flowers.
So precious. I don't
I'm gonna pay a bill or two. You know what I'm saying? Just so you know, because when a man pays a bill for you, he feels like he's showing you like I plan on being here. I ain't just here for the short run.
That'll make a woman be quiet. Mm-hmm. If you want your girl to be quiet, pay a bill.
I
pay all the bills.
Y'all take heed to that. Pay a bill for a bill for the girl who you trying to impress for real.
I can be quiet.
Because she's gonna remember that.
She is, and she's gonna be very grateful.
She sure is.
Okay.
I'm thinking.
That wasn't a cocktail, though. That wasn't a cocktail.
Guys always do it differently. We let them have their way because we're black women.
Dick the girl down. And she was calling me, got clingy and all of that. We ain't gonna do that.
Next time we get you on, we're gonna get you to do that.
Yeah.
Look, last time I was here,
we were drunk as fuck.
We was drunk as fuck.
Ooh, I got a video
to the point where we forgot to record this shit.
No, we didn't forget to record it. The computer was full.
They ended up giving us a bunch of free sessions because it was actually their fault.
Yeah, because even the next time we had another guest and the same thing happened.
And that's when we figured we
still made it to iTunes though, so we good.
Yeah,
we good. Top 200 was
top 10 or top something. So yeah, congratulations.
We can take 10. Just top 200, but
y'all. That billboard.
Okay, so tell everybody your Instagram. Okay.
I'm real low key. I pride myself on that because I feel like I got a lot to lose. But my IG is I am Gerard. That's spelled IAMJERROD. And yeah, that's about it. Low key.
Well, thank you so much for coming again. And so until next time, you guys, goodbye.
Goodbye.
Later.
I'm sorry, but the person you called has a voicemail box that has not been set up yet. Goodbye. Bye. 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 Bye, Felicia. Goodbye. Bye. Bye. Wait on the drive. Bye. 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 Bye, Felicia. Goodbye. Bye. 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 On the track.